Welcome to yoga. The theme or connection in our practice today is going to be trees and the bigger picture of nature. So up here in New Hampshire, the colors are coming out and they're very beautiful. That made me think of trees, and I'm surrounded by trees, so spoiler alert, we will be doing tree pose. And I'm going to be reading some passages from a book that I love, Forest Bathing Retreat by Hannah Fries. And the subtitle is Finding Wholeness in the Company of Trees. So just tie it into some of the qualities of trees that we can reflect in our yoga practice, and the interconnectedness, not only with all nature, but especially with trees. So, find a comfortable centering position. Can be seated or supine. You won't need any particular. Can you hear the loon? He just came back. The loons, the parents and the baby were not around for a week or so. We thought maybe they had flown, but they're back just now. So anyway, have any props that you typically use. There won't be any that are quote unquote required. So find your center place and begin your transition from outer to inner. This is time just for yourself to just increase your self-awareness. Notice how your body works and moves and feels, and notice which emotions you have that are maybe in the forefront right now. And notice also the workings of your mind, how your mind responds to a challenge, or whether there's judging going on. Anyway, just notice. So take just a few moments here to bring your awareness inside. Check in with your body, your emotions, your mind. And bring your awareness to your breath. So also notice how your breath is right now, this morning, or whenever you're looking at this right now. And just not trying to change it or judge it, of course. Just notice the qualities of your breath, the rhythm, whether it's consistent or changing, or fast, slow, smooth, jagged, whatever. And just by bringing your awareness to your breath will change. But the pranayama that I'd like to begin with is just a slow, deep, even breath. So belly breath. So soft belly. So you bring your inhale in, belly rises as your diaphragm descends. Unconstricted breath. And inhale approximately equal to the exhale. So you could assign a count till you can internalize that feeling. Just not overfilling your lungs, but just a gentle, gradual, perhaps increase, but keeping your inhale and exhale even. So while you're settling into your slow, deep, even belly breaths, I will give you a little quote from this book. And it is that this is about our symbiotic relationship with trees. One mature tree breathes in 48 pounds of carbon dioxide each year, so the trees need that. And I guess for climate change, we're trying to decrease what we release of carbon dioxide into the air, so the trees help with that. And also the exhalation, trees exhale oxygen. So one mature tree each year, two mature trees, two trees each year provide enough oxygen for a person to breathe for more than 1 year. So that's a pretty cool thing. I'm surrounded right now by like a mini forest of mature trees. So they're more than enough than I need to breathe for more than a year. But there's also a lot of animals running around here, and they're breathing it in too. So take a couple more rounds of just slow, deep, even belly breaths. Inhaling oxygen that you need, exhaling carbon dioxide that you don't need, but the trees do. And then just take a moment to create an intention for your practice. Positive affirmation. Repeat the word or phrase in your mind a few times and seal it into your heart space and let it go, but it will be there to revisit as we practice. We will begin practice today on our backs, so come on over into a supine foundation. And raise your legs straight up in the air, reach your arms straight up in the air, and just rotate your ankles and wrists. Just warming them up, rotating in both directions, and then flex and extend. So toes and fingers up, and then back toward your arms or shins. Wiggle your fingers, spread your toes, wiggle your toes. Really get some movement going in those wrists and ankle joints. So we're going to do some balancing today. Tree pose is a balance pose. And important, their ankles and feet are very important in that pose. Okay, then bring your arms down out to the side, palms face up, feet to the mat, down by your hips, and begin a few rounds of windshield wipe. So inhaling at the center, exhale, bring your belly in and let your knees come over to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. So move with your breath. Breath is slow and even. So your movements are mindful and moving with the breath. your gaze in the direction of your knees or opposite to your knees, or just keep it neutral. That's always a choice. And the next time you come to center, pause there. Lengthen out your legs. And bring your arms up overhead. So full body stretch. Stretch out in two directions. And then release. And begin to walk your left leg over to the left a little bit. And then bring the right leg to meet it. And keep doing that. Left leg followed by the right until you reach the edge of your stretch there. You can bind your right ankle over the left or not. And then same thing with your arms. So you're going to take your left wrist with your right hand and bring both arms over to the left. So you're in a banana shape. Just stretching the whole right side of your body. Shoulders are on the mat, hips are on the mat. Side bend. Breathe into the stretch side. Now your left side is the stable side here, the strong side. Your side core muscles strengthen here as they stretch on the right side. And then unbind your feet and bring your legs back to neutral. Bring your arms back to neutral. And we'll banana on the other side. So start moving your right foot out. Left foot to meet it. Right foot out. Again, you can bind. This side will feel different. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. And stretch all the way up your left side. Slow, deep, even breaths. Breathe into the stretch. Exhale, soften. Check in with your face. Make sure your head, jaw, neck are relaxed. Your face muscles, jaw muscles. And then unwind, come back to center. Bring your arms down by your side, bend your knees. And bring your right leg straight up in the air. Foot is flexed, left knee bent. Externally rotate your right leg, so turn your toes out and bring your right ankle to your left knee. So come into a figure 4. And if you want to bring a little more stretch, you can take hold behind your left thigh. Draw your left thigh towards your chest. Right elbow can gently push the right thigh away, right knee away, whatever feels good. So make any modifications so that you can feel a stretch, but it's not too much, and you do feel something, but it's not too much. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. So each inhale, you can breathe into the place where you feel the most sensation. And each exhale, see if you can soften. Perhaps bring your left knee in a little bit, right knee away a little bit. Slow, deep, even breaths. left foot down, uncross your legs, and we'll take a figure 4 on the other side. So left leg straight up to the ceiling, externally rotate, and bring your left ankle onto your right knee. Draw the right knee into your chest. Notice the difference in your sides. And breathe. Inhale right to the place of sensation. Exhale, see where you can soften. So the left leg here is externally rotated, abducted, same position or similar position to what it will be in tree pose. So this is a lead up to tree pose. External rotation, hip rotators. And then come out of that pose. And let your feet come together. Knees are bent, soles of your feet come together. Let your knees come out to the side. No forcing them down. Just let them come down as far as they go. And bring your arms up overhead. You can touch your palms and interlace your fingers with the index fingers pointing up. If that's comfortable, you do not have to do that. You can have your arms just up shoulder height, so comfortable position there. Shoulders on the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. So here both legs are abducted, externally rotated. So notice the stretch on your inner thighs. Shoulders mirror hips, so also stretch in your arms, and chest is open, hips are open. Soften on the exhale. And the next time you come to an inhale, bring your knees together. Cross your ankles or lower legs, and you can rock up. We're going to come to an all four, so you can either rock up or come onto your side and come up that way. So bring yourself up to a all four foundation, tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers, wide finger base. Let the weight come into the pads of your fingers. Take a little pressure off your wrists. If your wrists are sensitive, you can use a fist. Press into your hands and press into the tops of your feet and your knees. Flat back, and then inhale, let your belly come down, tailbone up, maybe lift your head a little bit, cow pose. Exhale, push the mat away, round your back, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, cat pose. So slowly bring some flexion, extension into your spine, warming up slowly. Not over efforting. And you're moving with your breath. So the inhale leads you into cow, and when the exhale starts, you start moving into flexion of cat. Okay, now the next time you come to an exhale, let your hips go all the way back to your heels. Not to stay. Child's pose briefly. Inhale, scoop up again to cow. Exhale, back into child. So just a little vinyasa here. One breath vinyasa. Moving between cat and cow. Cow and child's pose. And the next time you come up, move into tabletop. So a neutral spine, lengthen out through the crown of your head and through your tailbone. Next inhale, lengthen out your right leg, flex your foot, reach back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, reach, knee to nose. Now this time, as you inhale your right leg back, bring your left arm out. So right leg, left arm, balance. One leg, one arm balance. Engage your core. Soft gaze down to the mat. Slow, deep, even breath. Inhale, lengthen. And then bring your hand back to the mat, your knee back to the mat, and we'll do the other side. So starting in movement, inhale, left leg back, reach out, foot is flexed. Exhale, knee to nose, spinal flexion. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. One more. This time, hold the leg out and bring your right arm up. Core, engage your core. Soft gaze. Press into your left hand, right leg. Smooth breath. And then bring your right hand down, your left knee back. And come onto your toes and sit back on your heels. So your toes are stretching. This can be pretty strong, but see how long you can stay here. And while you're doing that, let's circle out our wrists, flex and extend. And then come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a little bit. Start with a pretty deep bend in your knee. Knees reach up through your tailbone. And then gradually straighten your legs without locking your knees. And on an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Reach, reach, reach. Option to bend the knee and turn to look under your right armpit. If you want, you don't have to. And then bring your right leg down. Inhale, bring your left leg up. Reach it up. Perhaps bend and rotate. And then bring that foot down. And walk your feet up to meet your hands, come into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Start with a big bend in your knees so your chest can come toward your thighs. Belly rests on your thighs. Hang. Soft neck. Letting gravity lengthen out your spine. And then, as it feels good to you, you can bring your legs a little straighter. You can take hold of opposite elbows. Maybe sway side to side. And then bring your hands to your shins. Come a halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, strong flat back. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then push into your feet. Come all the way up. And hands down the midline, Anjali Mudra. And find your mountain pose. So always enter mountain pose, every pose mindfully. So this is probably the pose that we do most consistently, but always start from your foundation, your feet. Lift, spread your toes, Pada Bandha. Press equally into all four corners of your feet. And then as you press into the earth, feel the energy come up, all the way up. Open your chest, comes out, and lift up. So this is like a tree. You're rooting down through your foot foundation, your toes. Your trunk is strong. And notice the terminology of our human anatomy, which matches trees. You've got your trunk and your limbs. Your legs and arms are your limbs. So in mountain, which is another natural term, you feel stable but easy. You're using only the energy needed to stay in this pose. So the tree connection is rooting down and rising up. Root and rise. Reconnect with your breath. Just take a few really beautiful, slow, deep, even breaths. Just going to do a few inhale, exhale lunges. So stand in mountain. On an inhale, step your right leg back. Arms can come up or not. So crescent lunge. Exhale here. No, inhale here. Exhale back to center, hands to heart space. Inhale, step back left leg. This is balancy. Get it on the inhale, get a nice stretch. Exhale back to center. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, center. A couple more times. Inhale, left leg back. Really opening the left hip here. And we'll do one more time each side. Inhale, right leg. And left leg. Nice. Take a couple breaths just right here. And then we'll start some sun breaths. So, no, not yet, not sun breaths yet. side bend, half sun salutation with side bend. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, up. Exhale, side bend left. Back up, do it again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up. And hands down to your heart space, Anjali Mudra. So trees have strength and flexibility so that when the wind blows, their branches move, and that's what we look for in yoga too, strength and flexibility. Now, sun breaths, and we're going to bring some balance into it. So start in mountain. Inhale. We'll just start with our arms up, palms touch. Exhale out, arms back to heart space. Inhale up. Exhale out. Now we're going to add the balance. So as you inhale, as you come up onto your toes, reach up, and as you lower, come back to your regular beginning stance. So inhale, arms lift, come up onto your toes, exhale down. So just have your focal point, have your smile, and just do a few rounds. Balancing sun breaths. If you want to hold in the raised position, you can try that. Just keep breathing. One more. And then pause. And turn to face the long edge of your mat and step your feet wide apart. Toes point forward, your legs are a little internally rotated. Press evenly into both feet. Start with your hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. Long spine, lengthen through the crown of your head. You can have a block here if you want. So Ardha Prasarita Padottanasana, half wide leg forward fold. You can bring your feet out a little bit more here, and then fold all the way down. Take your hands behind your back, clasp your hands behind your back, and reach back. So open chest. This does not feel good. You can change your arms. Let your head hang, neck is soft. Breathe even. And then use your hands on an inhale to pull you up. Keep your wide leg stance. Your block can be handy for some of the standing poses we're going to do. So begin by rotating your left heel back 45 degrees, right foot so the toes go toward the short edge of the mat. So an open hip posture. We're going to start with Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So bend your right knee so it comes right over your right ankle. Make sure you can see your big toe. Square your shoulders to the long edge of the mat. First, make sure your stance is good. Your heels should be on alignment or heel to arch. Inhale, arms up, out to the side. Fingers are spread. You want your spine to be coming right up through the middle of your pelvis, not leaning back, not leaning forward. So tall through the crown of your head. And then turn to look over the middle finger of your right hand. And let's take 5 breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. So inhale, lengthen up, exhale, maybe settle in a little bit. And then on your next inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale. Inhale, reach out through your right arm and come into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can have a block or rest your hand on your leg. Right arm can reach up or go behind your back or be on your hips. So left shoulder is moving back, right hip is moving under your body, and you're lengthening out through your spine, so not collapsing down. You want your hand, whatever it's resting on, is very lightly resting. You want to use your spine to be not flexed or extended. It's neutral spine. Your gaze can go up or forward or down. And then inhale, come back up. Bring your feet together. And we'll just do a couple half sun salutations to get things moving after a hold. So inhale up, exhale forward, fold. Inhale up. You can come up through chair, whatever, forward. A half sun feels right to you. Just a couple. And then take your feet wide apart again. This time left heel rotates back. Right heel, left toes forward. Bend your knee a few times to find and adjust your stance so the knee can be over the ankle. Make sure you can see the big toe. Shoulders squared to long edge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn to look over your middle finger of your left hand. 5 slow, deep, even breaths. And then straighten your right leg. Next inhale, reach forward and revolve down. Make sure your back leg is internally rotating, front leg external. Press evenly into both feet. Open your chest, so right shoulder moves back. Left hip moves under. Light hand lightly resting somewhere. So you're moving down through your feet, out through the crown of your head, up through your hand, right hand. And then inhale, come back up, bring your feet together and just kind of pedal out your feet. Move around a little bit. And we will come to tree. Doesn't everybody love tree? Today we're going to love tree. So, strength, flexibility, stability, flexibility. Gosh, there goes that plane again. Okay, so I'll talk loudly. So start with your foundation on 2 feet. And let's start with letting the weight come into the right foot. So come up onto your left toes. Start with our hands in Anjali Mudra, right here. So you're on your left toes, not letting that hip come out. Keep that hip tight. Tighten up your core. Find your gaze point, something that's not moving that you can look at. And then gradually bring your left knee up. Externally rotate it. And find where you want to put your foot. Your toe, you can be on your toes. Your foot can be on your right calf. If you press your left foot into your right thigh, make sure you're pressing the two against each other so that the foot doesn't send your hip out. You want to equally press the thigh against your foot. So let's just start here. Slow, deep, even breath. Smile. Don't take it so seriously. You are a wonderful tree. And then bring your left foot down and just shake out your right leg. We're going to go back again to that same side and see if we can add some branches, some limbs, perhaps that will sway in the wind. So, flexible body, flexible mind. So again, let the weight come into your right foot, up on your left toes. Find where you want your leg to be. And then see if you can grow some limbs, some branches. And perhaps the wind is moving your branches. So the evergreen trees in the winter, they are heavy with snow and the branches bend to bear the weight of the snow. They don't break, they bend. And in the spring, when the snow melts, they spring back up again. They're flexible. Okay, and come down from that and shake out. And we'll do that same thing on the left side, but I'll leave it up to you. So I'm suggesting that perhaps you start with a tree and then move into adding the branches, but you do it at your own pace. So weight comes into left leg, tighten up your hip, left hip, come onto your right toes, raise your right knee, then externally rotate and find a place to rest your foot. And then do what you want with your tree. Remember that balance is a practice, part of a practice, and you will get better at it as you practice. And it's all good. If you come out, you just take a breath and go back in. Okay, so now come out mindfully from your tree. Give thanks to those trees that are helping us to breathe. And we will transition down to our backs. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins a couple times. Lengthen out, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold again. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then walk your feet back into down dog. And then come to hands and knees. Bring your feet out to the side. Swing around. And come down onto your back. Knees bent. And we'll go back to where we started with windshield wipes. So your choice whether you want your legs to be wide or hip width or even off the mat and together. So your choice of a wind down windshield wipe. If you feel like you want to do a little more core, then you'd have your feet off the mat. And a wide stance affects different parts of your body than the narrow stance. So do what feels right to you. And then come to center. Take yourself back into a figure 4 with your right ankle over your left knee. Draw your leg toward your chest and then let both legs go over toward the left. So your right foot and left knee are toward the mat, on the mat. Your gaze can go away from your legs, or toward your legs, or straight up. So just a twist, supine twist with a figure 4 leg configuration. So we're going to be here for 1 minute. So inhale, and then exhale. See if you can soften. Somewhere. You can obviously modify your legs any way you want so that you get the most out of it for you. Go by what you feel. And then inhale up, exhale to the other side, just keeping your, so now you'll end up with your right foot on your left knee, both knees going toward the mat. But if that doesn't feel good, then modify. Change it so it does. Inhale, come back to center, unwind your legs, press into your feet, tap your sacrum on the mat, and then left ankle over right knee, and let your legs move over toward the right knee toward the mat, left foot toward the mat. legs go to the other side, toward the left. Make any adjustments or modifications so this is a good twist, a twist that allows you to transform, to change. Inhale your knees back to center, unwind your legs. Take any last movement before you move into Shavasana, perhaps a happy baby, rocking around, or Apanasana. Anything that feels good to you. And then begin to settle into your Shavasana. And as you begin to surrender to everything, just as you start your Shavasana, I'd like to just read a passage from the book I referenced. Whatever has been keeping you up at night, darkly chewing away at your heart, picture it lofted by tree boughs and spread ever so thinly over that whole vast vault of the sky. Your grief is not gone, your loneliness is not gone, but when you have a place to stand, when you can see your life connected to all the lives around you, human and non-human, it becomes a little easier to bear. So knowing that you're connected to everything that is, you're not alone, you're sharing the most important part of our life, which is air and breath, with the trees around you. Just settle into the support that you have on the mat and around you. Surrender, let go, just be with your breath in the moment. What a gift. Now, just gently bring your awareness back to the space and where you are, and begin to bring your body alive with small movements. Just wake it up. Move, stretch. Bring yourself over onto your side and rest there. Just seeing where you are at the end of practice. Keeping your awareness in your body, with your body sensations, your emotions, state of your mind, your breath, and revisiting your intention. Perhaps noticing any benefits of practice. And then use your arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed to help stay inside just for a couple more minutes. Lengthen up, tall, straight spine. And I'd like to close with one more passage from the book I've been referring to. This is actually a Thanksgiving address or prayer from the Haudenosaunee Native American tribes. They're also known as Iroquois Confederacy, which includes the Mohawk, Oneida, Cayuga, Onondaga, Seneca, and Tuscarora. And it's about trees. So, we now turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many people of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and our thanks to the tree life. Now our minds are one. So I invite you to bring your hands, palms together, and bow to your efforts today, your willingness to show up, to get to know yourself better, to perhaps think about trees and your interconnectedness with all of nature, that we share an energy not only with each other, but with the whole universe. And I bow to and honor that energy, that light, that love in each of you. Namaste. So I hope that was a good practice for you. I thank you for coming and sharing it. It was really exciting to be able to be outside with all these tall trees around. It made it very easy to connect with the trees, and see the qualities that we share. So this will be the last practice that I record from New Hampshire. I'll be back in St. Louis next time, and there will be a week off, so there won't be a practice posted for October 14th because I'm going to be in transition, but then I'll resume from St. Louis. So anyway, thanks for coming, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.